Hey, welcome to the channel. So, what is the biggest thing that most people get wrong when their lawnmower or snowblower and stuff won't work? It's not the carburetor. Stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric and we run a shop here, so we do the repairs on most people's equipment when it comes through. And one of the biggest things that I see what happens when you try to do it yourself is you jump and leap too far ahead. Alright? You know, we teach if you want to do it right, you got to do a proper diagnostic on it, right? And that's always going to be, and you have to have it in this order: compression, fire, fuel, and air. I would say the biggest culprit that does damage to these girls, my girls, is water. Water and the fuel. That's your biggest culprit. And it may be what the water in the actual fuel, or what the water in the fuel actually does to the system of the carburetors and stuff. What I see too often is when somebody has something, let's say their snowblower won't start, they jump onto eBay, Amazon, order a carburetor, get a carburetor, throw a carburetor on it, doesn't work. Then they put a new spark plug in it, doesn't work. And you're just spinning your wheels, okay? So the best way to go about it is to do a compression test first to see if you have fire. If you don't have compression, it's not going to run anyways, right? And if you have overhead valves and the compression is low, you can check the overhead valves, right? And those specs are online. You get a feeler gauge. If you've got compression and you've got fire coming to the plug, with using a spark tester, all you're doing is confirming that the coil is energizing coming to the plug. It's not telling you if the plug is fired. The plug could be misfiring from either being wet, gummed up, what have you. But it gets you that far, right? And then it brings us to fuel. And if I've already ruled out compression, I've already ruled out fire, and I still can't get it to run yet, what do we do here at the shop? Dump the fuel. Whatever comes into that machine. And here's the thing, most times people have your lawnmower, you put it away last fall, right? It's got a half tank fuel in it. And you just pulled it in, shut it off, put it to sleep for the winter months, got your snow blower out, and now it's springtime coming fast, right? And you're getting your lawnmower out and you want to get it running all tuned up and everything, and it won't start. It'll just turn over, but won't run. And you've tried carb cleaner into the carburetor and it fires up on carb cleaner. It will fire up on carb cleaner even if there's water in the fuel, I guess is what I'm getting at. So what ends up happening is, instead of knowing how to rebuild the carburetor, which it is, you really got to put the things out and put them back the way you found them. But what most people will do is they'll go out, homeowners, and buy a whole brand new carburetor, put it on, and then be upset because it still won't work. What I can tell you is, if you have fuel in there from last year and it sat all winter long, and now you're going to go out and try to fire it up, good chances are it's not going to run. And why do I say that? Because most people are still using the ethanol fuel. And if you're not using the ethanol fuel, we've talked about when you go to a gas station, if the vehicle ahead of you just used 87 octane and you pull up with your jug to put fuel in it, everything from that pump all the way to that nozzle is going to go into there first, right? And what would that be? That would be the 87 and you're buying 91, so now you got 87 in there. And what's 87 going to do with ethanol in there? If you allow that fuel to sit for any period of time, it's going to draw moisture. If it has the ability to get to air, it will draw the moisture out of the air. And what happens then? You get water in the fuel. Where is water going to be sitting in your fuel tank? On the bottom. Your water is going to be down here, your ethanol is going to be here, and then your actually gas is going to be here. You can shake it up all you want, but you still are going to end up with already water into the system. And you fouled the plug, your carburetor's full of water. I mean, seriously guys, I've had them where we would drain the tanks and stuff and literally be a cup of water before fuel started coming out. So that's why we have a policy here at the shop. I do. It's a shop policy of I don't take anybody's word. I don't care. I get this from customers all the time. Well, I just put fresh gas in it. When did you get gas in the can? Well, last year. Okay, did you treat it with anything? No. Well, guess what? You got water in that now, and I don't care if you shake it all up. These small engines do not like water. I don't know who came up with this idea with the ethanol fuel. Because it gives us more work because most homeowners don't understand that. And most homeowners don't understand that when you dump the tank, all your fuel lines going down to your carburetor are still full of water. So when you take and you drain your tank, you need to take the bottom bowl off the carburetor and then flush it with good fuel on top to push everything down through the system and out until you get fresh fuel. And you notice it. You can have like a little saucer reused so you can see if there's any water in it and stuff. And I think the next time you come across that, if you just take and drain that fuel tank and drain that carburetor and drain the lines going to the carburetor and get rid of it, it's going to fire right up. The other option you got is PRI-G. You can get it on Amazon. It's an additive. It mixes with the fuel and it takes the water. It's not going to make the water burn easier, but it's going to keep it more shielded from the air so that the ethanol can't get to the air to draw the water in. So if you're having problems right now and your lawnmower won't start, that you're just trying to get it out for the first time this year, good chances are it's water. And go buy yourself a new plug, brand new fuel, get PRI-G if you can, and drain the system, put fresh in it, and see if that changes your outcome. If it doesn't and you have questions, put it in the comments. We have some really top-notch mechanics on this channel that are willing to help me and you out when it comes to solving minor issues with your equipment. Don't become a parts replacer. Don't run out and buy parts that you don't need when you haven't tested the rest of the system. If you can I don't care if you have no experience, okay? I can teach you how to diagnose that engine like a pro. And that is simply getting a compression tester out, and just simply taking the spark plug out, get your compression tester out, thread it in, either electric start it or pull start it, whatever one works, and do that first. If you've got 90 or above, you're all right there. Then you're going to go and pop this onto the spark plug boot where the spark plug is, and pop this into the boot and turn it over, and if you see a yellow pitch coming off that means you've got fire. If you've got those two present and it still won't run, good chances are it's your fuel. On that note, you guys have a great day, and thanks so much for spending time with me in the afternoons.